Hi, my name is Michael Idarecis, and we're here to talk about the truth of everything again, and how drawings really are very significant at all ages. And in this video, we're actually going to discuss drawing by Mariah Carey that was just recently on the news in her release of her new album, which you can see here. It's called Me, I Am Mariah. So I don't know Mariah Carey. I've never, I know her music, just like probably countless other people know her music. And this album was just released on the 30th, not released, but this album was pre-ordered, started on the 30th of April. And this just came across in the news on May 2nd, and how there was a big to-do about her name and the name of this album. The name of the album is Me, I Am Mariah. As you can notice, there's also a period there. So at first glance, you would think, okay, that's nice. But that's not all. When had seen this cover, had found in the news as well that she had a back cover. And on this back cover, she had a drawing. And this is what really took my attention. This drawing. Not only was this drawing exceedingly interesting to me, but the substance of this drawing and how accurate this, as a proof of exactly what we're talking about in like a double-blind evaluation. One of the things we said was when someone's disconnected in the pregenital stage, between 3 and 5 years of age, one of the things that they think that they are is they think that they're the I am. And here, perfectly in this drawing, you could see that she has Me, I Am Mariah. Okay, maybe we're pushing a little bit. Well, you know what? She has a video. We're going to include this a link, which this was taken off the video. This picture is all over the web, so you can see the videos as well. Let's look at the commonalities here before we get into any deeper. One, you'll get to see is the background is the same color. She's sharing the same color background. Of course, this is her as an adult, and this is her drawing when she was 3.5 years of age. But curiously, she had also in the video explained a lot of things about her album cover and why she chose it, and felt it would be interesting for us to read some of them. For starters, she said that this is the back cover of the album. That's the first thing she says. So I'm just going to read these off to you. First, it's the back cover of the album. This is a personal treasure. This picture to her was a personal treasure. It is the first and only self-portrait. So we know that there is no other self-portraits that Mariah had drawn before except for this. Now these are her words off of her video, and you can look them up yourself. You can hear it. I was very careful to make sure that I had taken every word. She said, I drew it when I was 3.5 years old. Well, you know what? 3.5. Let me take back the chart, because this is interesting. Because if you remember, it's on this side. When I made this chart, when do the drawings happen? Between 3 and 5 years old. And even in this last video we spoke about, this person thinks that they're the I am. And the picture clearly says, Me, I Am. Okay, so she entitled it, Me, I Am Mariah. Also, it says, please don't judge me for such a simplistic title. Well, you might think Me, I Am is a simple title, but really the big problem here is Me, I Am. There is an I Am. And you know who the I Am is? It's God Almighty. And we know this from the Bible in Exodus 3, when Moses said, who shall I say sent me? And God said, I am that which I am. I am had sent you. If I am had sent you, then how would she, as a 3.5-year-old child, think that she's a I am? Well, if we look at the diagram again, the body is down here and the head is far away. This is high in the sky. So if this is high in the sky, everybody else becomes very small. And, you know, if you look at the success of Mariah Carey, she's got millions and millions of people looking up to her, looking at her, really like almost glorifying her. So that relationship between the head trying to get away from the body and the enabler is manifested. The enabler being all the people, all the fans of Mariah. Now, granted, she is a talented singer. I'm not taking anything away from her. However, it is interesting that for someone as successful as she is, would draw a picture that so perfectly falls in line with the I am in the title. Well, let's hear what else she has to say. She also said this was a creative visualization of how I saw myself with the purity of a child's heart before it was ever broken. So this is how she saw herself. Me, I am. Also, you really can't see in this picture as clearly as I'd like to show you, but this part of her body right here, if you look at the video, it's a little bit more accurate. This brown here doesn't look like it belongs in the picture. You can't really see it here, but you would see it on the video. And this is just where the heart would be. So let's say the heart is covered here. Well, then where is the heart if it's not in the body? It's right here. It's outside the body. Well, what else can we say about that? Well, most of Mariah's music has to do with emotions and heart. Okay, let's put that down. She said she's kept this story, I've kept this story private for so long, but because this album is a reflection. Okay, so this is a reflection of some of the peaks and valleys. Oh, peaks and valleys. Doesn't a peak and a valley identify with a disconnect between the head and the body? Between some of the peaks and valleys that have made me who I am today. So this was the I am when she was 3.5 years old, and this is the I am of today. So she said, I've decided to share it with those of you who actually care and have been here. And then the last thing she says, curiously, and this is a big one, along the way there have been a couple of nicknames, and I have inadvertently embodied many personas. Now that right here, embodied many personas, is tremendous because she's describing herself. She's describing the me I am. And in our study, in the previous videos, we know that this person has to eat energy off of somebody else, off of an enabler. So they're not feeding on their body. So what does this mean today? Well, when you look at Mariah Carey, this is what you see. But by her own words and her own actions, she's telling you this is who Mariah Carey is. And she is the 3.5-year-old child who never connected properly with the opposite sex parent. Oh, and by the way, her father and her mother got a divorce when she was 3 years old. So by the time that she drew this, he was already gone. That's why if you look at the me, I am, it's talking about her showing this also to herself. There are other things in this picture as well, which, I can't really see clear enough, but I can share this. If you look at the left hand, which I associate the left hand with the heart, it kind of looks like a foot, or it has very small fingers. And if you look at the right hand, which is the will hand, or the act of doing hand, it looks like it has sharp claws. That's something else that's interesting. But again, we really can't go into full detail on this because, again, the picture's not as clear. But what is absolutely clear is when you're looking at this, in actuality, this is what you see. You see a woman who, after 40 plus years, has not resolved what happened to her at 3.5 years of age. This is very common. Is this isolated to only Mariah? No. But this happens in everybody's life who, at the ages of 3 to 5 years old, that hasn't properly connected with their opposite sex parent. And again, you see the color in the background? This is the same person. So again, if you know Mariah Carey, send her this video. Because I got a feeling that after she sees this video, she'll get some more insight on what happened here. And the Me I Am is really evidence that this happened to her. And this has not been solved in 40 plus years. Again, we'd like to thank you. And we hope that this has been interesting and revealing. And may God give you blessing. And may God connect you to your torso and your spirit, so this way you could see the truth. And remember, Mariah was not aware of any of this, how it was tied to her choosing this picture. She thinks she was in charge of all her decisions, just like this person always thinks that they're in control, and in reality they're not. Anyway, God bless. And we hope you've enjoyed this.